the phone lights up. Brunch on Saturday at that place where breakfast costs like dinner. Inside the group chat, the yeses arrive fast. A location pin. 3 quick thumbs up. Everyone is in. Everyone, it seems, keeps the same easy relationship with the brunch bill. You open the menu first. The prices just sit there, calm, like they already know. You do quiet math in your head. Rent first, then groceries, then the week ahead. The cursor blinks. You type the classic line, "Something came up this weekend, so sorry." It is not exactly a lie about money. It is a lie instead of money. Nobody questions it. The chat moves right on. You have protected everyone, including yourself, briefly. Somewhere across town, a check lands face down on a table. An uninvited third guest. So here is the question. Why does declining a meal feel like declining a friendship? Look closer at that invitation. It was never just one thing. It is 2 things. On the surface, it offers company. Your friends, one table, an easy afternoon spent together. Underneath, it is a transaction. The meal, the drinks, the ride there, and back home. You simply cannot accept the first without paying the second. That is the hidden bundle. Almost every plan quietly includes a ticket price, even when nobody ever calls it that. So when you say you cannot afford it, you are refusing 2 things at once. The price gets said out loud at the table. The affection gets assumed in silence. And your friends cannot always tell which of those 2 you actually meant to refuse. You meant the price. They may hear the person. That small gap is everything here. This is how a small decision about lunch quietly starts to feel enormous and heavy. The check already waits face down between the plates before anyone has even ordered anything. You are never just answering a plan. You are always answering a person as well. 2 friends received the very same invitation, word for word, glowing on their phones tonight. It is the same plan, the same table, the same menu, waiting for them both. But an identical plan is never really an identical expense across 2 very different incomes. For one wallet, this dinner is just a small rounding error in an ordinary week. For the other, it is the grocery money, the utility bill, the whole week's slack. One of them does the math instantly and finds nothing there worth a single thought. The other does the same small math and feels the whole pleasant evening quietly collapse. Which is why admitting it's too expensive never quite sounds like a sentence about money. It sounds more like a full report on your salary, your savings, your recent luck. Or worse, like a quiet public announcement of exactly where you stand in the world. The face-down check waits there between them, patient as a question neither wants to ask. So she does what comes naturally, reaches for something softer and easier to say instead. The scheduling excuse is small, polite, and conveniently almost impossible for anyone to ever check. I have a thing that weekend. Vague, believable, and nobody's feelings get hurt at all. The little lie performs a strange, small kindness. It keeps money out of the friendship. Nobody ever has to weigh affection against affordability, or say the hard number out loud. She tells herself she is not really deceiving her friend. She is sparing them both. But the excuse leaves the other person sitting with a question that has no answer. Was it the restaurant, the timing, the company, or was it something else left unsaid? The fake reason protects this single moment, and then it quietly poisons the next invitation. Both friends walk away relieved, and both walk away slightly less certain of each other. That is the quiet trade. Comfort tonight, purchased with a confusion that compounds over time. In July 2025, a survey asked 2,000 American adults about friendship, spending, and money. Their answers confirm what the group chat suspected all along. Cost sometimes quietly declines invitations. 69% said they had declined an outing at least once because it felt too expensive. That is not a fringe habit. It is a clear majority of ordinary American adults. Among those who declined, 39% said they did not tell the inviter the real reason. The fake excuse you rehearsed is not a private quirk. It is practically a tradition. Now the caveats, because this survey honestly deserves them, before anyone panics about their friendships. This was a nonprobability sample with quotas, not a random cross-section of the whole country. Every answer is self-reported memory, which means some forgetfulness and flattery are already baked in. And the question asked whether you had ever declined, not how often you actually do. It measures moments, not frequency, and certainly not friendships quietly dissolving over a single check. So the honest takeaway: concealing the reason is common, not that expensive brunches end friendships. The face-down check sits on the table, acquitted of murder, guilty only of occasional awkwardness. Before we sentence Brunch entirely, let the defense speak, because Brunch has an honest case. A paid plan is convenient. Someone else cooks, seats you, and washes every dish afterward. Shared rituals need a container, and a reservation is a container that reliably refills itself. Food is sometimes beside the point. The point is an evening of guaranteed easy togetherness. Your inviter is usually not plotting a status display. They just wanted to see you. Most people pick a restaurant by habit, appetite, and convenience, not by your bank balance. A pricey invitation is not, all by itself, evidence of quiet pressure, disrespect, or disregard. And here is the genuinely hopeful part. Many friends will happily welcome a cheaper counteroffer. Suggest tacos instead of tasting menus, and watch how often the honest answer is relief. Sometimes the other person was also quietly dreading the price and waiting for your permission. Nobody in this story needs to be the villain, not the inviter, not the decliner. Still, fairness to Brunch is not the end of the story. The check remains face down. Here is what can happen when the excuse becomes a habit rather than an exception. The face-down check keeps reappearing, and each time it costs a little more than money. A single vague no means nothing. Friends hear scheduling conflicts constantly and shrug them off. The pattern is the problem, a stack of maybes that never quite becomes a plan. From the outside, each refusal is unreadable, so the inviter starts filling in the blank. And the easiest guess is rarely about money. It is usually about the friendship itself. So the invitations quietly shrink. Fewer asks, shorter threads, smaller plans, and less shared time. Nobody ever decides this. The calendar just quietly sorts people by what they can spend. Soon the weekly table belongs to whoever can pay, and everyone else fades from it. The affection never left. Only the occasions did, and occasions are where friendship actually lives. That is the risk. Not a law. Drift, not drama, with the check still face down. Flip the check over. The way out is unbundling. Split the price from the person. The fix takes two plain sentences, and neither one is an apology or a confession. First, name the constraint plainly and calmly, like a fact of weather, not a wound. That place is past my budget this month. Short, specific, honest, and entirely about money. No elaborate excuse, no fake deadline, no mysterious prior engagement that collapses under one question. The constraint is not the message. It is only the envelope the message arrives in. The second sentence is the counteroffer, and that is where the friendship actually speaks loudest. Make it concrete. A walk, coffee at home, the cheap taco place, even your couch. Come over, I will make dinner. Costs little and says everything the excuse never did. Specificity is the real kindness. A named, concrete alternative cannot be mistaken for a brush-off. Together, the two sentences send one clean signal. The no is aimed at the price. And they hand your friend something easy to say yes to, which most people want. If they accept, the table changes, but the company does not. That was the point. If they hesitate, you still told the truth kindly, and truth ages better than excuses. Name the price, offer the mug, and let the check finally come off the table. Picture the table one last time. 2 friends, 2 homebrewed mugs, and no third guest. The check that always sat between them is gone. The steam does the talking now. The whole answer fits in one sentence. No to the price, yes to the person. Connection and cost arrive bundled together. You can unbundle them, one counteroffer at a time. So when the next invitation outruns your wallet, name the price, then offer the mug.